Hi, I'm Darren Lithgow, and today we'll be installing TNG version 13, the upgrade. We'll be doing it on a site running TNG 12. Here's kind of what it looks like. Over here, I changed the title, Genealogy of US Presidents, and I uploaded a GEDCOM file with some genealogy for the first 42 or so US presidents. So we'll have that data as kind of a benchmark. We're going to try and make sure that we maintain our data and our customizations throughout the process. I'll be using a Mac and my browser is Chrome, but these instructions should be general enough that you can use them with any operating system or any browser. So if you've purchased the upgrade already, you should have an email that includes the URL and login for the version 13 downloads page. It looks like this. So once you're there, skip down past the full version section. If you accidentally install the full version on top of your existing TNG site, you will lose your data and your customizations. That would be bad, so let's not do that. Skip down instead to the updates section and find the upgrade file most appropriate for your currently installed version. If you don't know what version you have, you can look at the top of your TNG admin menu and it will tell you there. So if you have 12.3, this is what you want here on the top line. If you have any other version that starts with 12, like 12.1 or 0.2, then you'll want this one on the second line. So just click there to start the file downloading. And notice over on the side it says the installation instructions are in the file readme 12x-13x.html. So that's where we want to go to find the rest of the instructions. So once the file is downloaded, I can find where it went on my computer and unzip it. If you have a program like WinZip or something similar, you can use that. But these days you can probably just double click on the file and it will open it, create a new folder for you. So here's a folder of all the files and folders included in the version 13 upgrade. It only includes files that were changed or added since the last version, so not everything that's in the full version will be here, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm looking for that README file. I'll scroll all the way down. Here it is right here. Now, you might notice right above it, there's a file called readme.html. Those are the instructions for the full version install, so don't worry about that one. Just go for this one right here. I'm going to double click on it. So here are the upgrade instructions. You'll notice that each step has been kind of consolidated or summarized and hidden in order to make the page a little cleaner, less cluttered. So the first step has to do with backing up your settings or custom files, anything you may have changed. Now, if you've done all this recently, you probably don't need to do it again. But if you haven't done it in a while, or if you've never done it, then backing up is something I highly recommend. So let's look at the instructions. Here you see there's a list of files that include most of your configuration that you may want to back up just in case things don't go according to plan. Down the bottom, here's a line about backing up your database tables. So if you go into admin and then under utilities, there's a tool there you can use to back up all your tables before you get started. That will create a set of files with a .bak extension in your backups folder. And you can use your FTP program or your site control panel's file manager to download those files and back them up on your computer. So I like to use FileZilla. It's a easy and free FTP program. So let's open that. Up here in the left corner is the icon for the site manager, and it's got several fields here with information required to make your connection. And you can get all this from your hosting provider. The key items here are the host name, usually just your URL or domain name, and the username and password. There's some other things like the encryption and protocol that may be different from the default, so pay attention to those as well. Make sure you know what you need for those. Once you've got everything entered, then just click on the connect button to connect to your website. I should also mention that if you're using a different FTP program, this of course will look different, but the settings will all pretty much be the same. So I've connected to my website, and on the right, here are all the files and folders from my site. Over on the left are the files and folders from my home computer. So if I want to back up something on my website, I'm going to scroll down first to the public HTML folder, which is the root. Go in there and then find the folder for the installation of TNG that I'm upgrading. If your installation is in the root, you'll see it all right there already, but mine I know is in this folder called TNG 12. Okay, over on the left, I'm going to find where I left the upgrade files. Here we go. I'm just going to right click anywhere on that side and choose Create Directory so that I can make a folder for my backups. Okay, then back over on the right, let's pretend I'm going to back up my config file. Here it is. Maybe I also want to back up my custom config file. So if I press the Command or Control key and then click there, they're both selected. Let's go back over to the left and go into backups. Back on the right, I'm just going to drag and drop those over. So there they are, safely backed up. I mentioned the database tables will be living in a folder called backups. So let's find that. Here we go. So if I had backed up my database tables, all those .bak files would be in here, and then I could just drag and drop them over as well. Okay. So once you've backed up everything, go back here and hide that one, and go to step 2, uninstall all mods. Now a mod is just a modification written by another developer perhaps that adds functionality to TNG that it didn't already have, or enhances something. If you've never installed a mod or don't even know what I'm talking about, then you can skip this step entirely because it won't pertain to you. But if you have done anything with mods, you'll want to go in here and read what we have to say about this. Basically, you'll just need to go to the mod manager and uninstall all your mods. Once the upgrade is finished, then you can come back here and reinstall any that are still able to be installed at that point. If any of them have been affected by the upgrade, then you'll need to go to the wiki and look for an update for those particular mods. Download and reinstall them. Okay, but I'm not going to say anything more about that because if you've done mods at all, then you're completely familiar with this. Or should be, and if you haven't, then I'm just wasting your time. So let's skip that. Okay, on to step 3, uploading the files and folders. Show the instructions. Now here it mentions that we want to upload all the files and folders in the upgrade except the ones in the special and templates folder. So we're going to cover those a little bit later. So let's go back to our FileZilla again. And you'll notice here on the left, I've got a folder called Special and another one called Templates. Let's select everything except those. So I'm going to press the Command or Control key and then the letter A to select everything. And then I'm going to use my Command or Control key and also click on these folders that I don't want to upload. So those are now unselected. Once I've got that ready to go, I can just drag and drop everything here over to the right side. Just like this. Let go, and you'll see a little pop-up window saying, do you want to overwrite? And yes, you do. And you also want it to always apply, just so you don't have to sit here clicking this same thing for every file that comes up. Now again, whatever program you're using, this will be a little different, but chances are you're going to be asked the same questions. Okay. So now the files are all uploading, and that's going to take a while. So maybe like 5-10 minutes, depending on your internet speeds and what else is happening on the server. So I'm just going to pause this video until that's done. And like magic, all those files are uploaded. So back to the instructions. Let's hide that one. And the next thing is to open the README file from your site. Now, this confuses some people because they think, well, it's already open. But really, if you look up in the address bar, you'll notice that this is actually a file coming from my computer. It's not coming from the website, and that's what we need to change here. So unless we do this, then unless we view the file from the website, then some of the further instructions a little later on aren't going to work. So let's just highlight everything at the beginning and enter the URL for my website. There we go. And you can see it looks pretty much the same here. It's just now that if I look up in the address bar, I can see that it's coming from my website, so that's great. Okay, so step 5 is the special files. So this pertains to some files that are included in the upgrade that you may or may not want to upload without further inspection. For example, in your TNG general settings, there's an option there to specify a location to hold your config files that's below the root, just for added security. And that below the root location is stored in this subroot.php file. And there's a copy of this file included in the upgrade. And so if you've made use of this option, you don't want to just upload this file because it'll overwrite what you've got there. So if that's you, then examine this file and you might want to merge the contents of your existing subroot file with the one in the upgrade. But if you've never done anything with that and the instructions don't seem to apply to you here, then just don't worry about it. Let's go back to our FileZilla. And since that's me, I haven't done anything with these files in the special folder before. I'm just going to copy them both and upload them. Okay. Back out, over to the instructions again, and there's a step for templates. See the instructions here. Now, if the only thing you've ever done to your template is change things in the template settings, then you feel free to just upload the templates folder as it is. However, if you have tinkered with any of the files in there, like the template homepage or header or footer, then you might want to, again, merge the content that you've changed in with what's included in the upgrade. So let's go look at what we've got there back in FileZilla. So here's the templates folder, and inside all the folders for all the various templates. So let's say, for example, that you're using template 2, and inside there you have changed your homepage, which is index.php. Now, if you've done that, you'll want to open this version in an editor along with the one that you've got on your website and kind of reconcile the differences there before you upload this. Otherwise, you'll lose any customizations that you had made to that. And most people haven't done anything like that. So if you're most people, all you have to do is grab this templates folder and drag it over, upload the whole thing. That will not overwrite any of your template settings, anything you've entered there, including images that you uploaded before. Those will all still be there. Okay, back out to the instructions again. On to step 7 and update the database structure. Now, there's included in this upgrade are a few changes to the database, including a new table and just a few other minor changes. To accomplish those changes, all we have to do is click on this link here. So let's do that. You'll see there are a few things that happened, and it's all done. So all I need to do then is close that tab, and all the database changes have been made. All right. Last important thing here is to convert image maps. So an image map is an HTML construct that allows you to turn different portions of an image into a link. And TNG has used this in the past to allow you to make various sections, say, of a family photo linked to different people in your tree. So if you have a family photo with 5 or 6 different people in it, then you can turn each of their faces into a link. But it used an older HTML construct called an image map to do that. Now in TNG 13, we've upgraded to a more advanced system, so we need to convert those older image maps to the new system. So this basically explains that in just a few words and includes another link that you have to click to accomplish that. So just click the link, and again, it will open in a new tab and show you what it's doing. I didn't have any in this demonstration database, but if you had used these image maps at all in the past, it would show you a little blurb for each one that had been converted. If for any reason any of them couldn't be converted, it will show you a message about those. And then the original image maps for the ones that are successfully converted will then be deleted. So let's get rid of that tab. And at that point, we're pretty much all done. The only thing left is step 9, to clear your cache. If you're not sure what the cache is, basically your browser keeps a list of files that you've downloaded. It keeps them in a store or a cache in case you go back to the same website several times. Then it saves itself a little time by not having to download them again. It just gets them from the cache. And normally that's fine, but now we've updated our website and the files on our site are different from any that we may have downloaded before, and those files are being cached on your computer. So if you don't clear this cache after performing an upgrade, and then you go back to your website may show you some of those previously downloaded files, in which case things may not work correctly or things will look weird. So that's why I recommend at the end of the upgrade that you clear the cache. And it's different from every browser. Here's some instructions on the wiki if you need more help with that. In Chrome, for example, up here under the menu, there's an option for clear browsing data. And then you'll get to this screen where you can choose all the different items that you want to delete, but really just check this box that says cached images and files, and then click the clear data button. So let's do that. All done. I can remove that tab. Now I can go back to my site that I upgraded, and let's just refresh it to make sure everything's still okay. There it is. Let's look at some names. Everything still looks okay. Woohoo. What's new? All right. You get the idea. Everything looks just fine. I think we're done. Thanks very much. Goodbye.